I am Slick Nick, the living legend of hair loss, your personal hairline hero, and of course, the red pill pusher of hair loss. I have recently said in a video that sometimes I will publish a video that I don't think people will really watch or care about or respond to. Sometimes I'll film videos and just never publish them. But here recently, I have learned, just go ahead and publish it because I may be surprised. This is a prime example of one of those. So I made a video a couple years ago called Hair Loss Illusion when you have a buzz cut and receding hairline. If you happen to look that up, it's funny because I have a completely shaved head. I'm outside wearing sunglasses. It's really random. But it was like two and a half years ago that I filmed that. So in my real time, quite recently, someone just commented on it. Godspeed is the screen name. And the comment is, quote, "Bald men are more intelligent. If you're going bald, embrace that," end quote. So I responded, I agree. Now let's unpack that. To state that bald men are more intelligent. Well, I think there largely is some truth in that. So I want to remind everybody, most of my viewers are not actually bald. They're not actually balding. They have maybe some receding temples. A lot of you, the majority of you are fearing hair loss. I'm not a fan of, I don't watch, was it Walking Dead? I've seen like the first 2 episodes years ago. I'm not a fan of the show, I don't watch it. But I know they have a prequel series called Fear of the Walking Dead. So it's like that, it's fear of hair loss. It's not necessarily hair loss. So what I've learned over the years about my demographics of my viewers, most of you are younger than age 35, which that's telling because by age 35, you pretty much know if you're gonna go bald or not. So you're before the age of knowing if you're gonna go bald. So it's that fear, it's that anticipation, am I gonna go bald? Which is why I always remind you, I can already tell you the answer when you watch the video below, which will tell you the 5 things to ask yourself, and then you can know if you're gonna go bald by age 35 or not. But the improper way to respond to that is by watching the video and then still asking me. No, you should tell me the answer. You should be able to ask yourself the 5 questions and then tell me. So even that goes into the concept of bald men are more intelligent, because here are all these younger guys that still have hair. I made it extremely simple for you to figure out if you're gonna go bald, and you won't simply tell the answer. You continue to ask me. You continue to say things that I don't care about. Like, Nick, one side of my hairline is going up, it's uneven. Nick, I have hair in my hand after I take a shower. Nick, there's hair on my pillow. Nick, my dad's bald. Nick, my mother's bald. You name all these things that I never talk about. I don't care about because they don't matter. All that matters is the 5 things. So even that, and I've made a video saying hair loss IQ test. I've even pointed it out that younger guys with hair seem to be less smart because they can't simply ask themselves the 5 questions and give themselves the answer. They continue to ask me or ask me questions that are irrelevant. It comes down to the 5 things. That's it. So to me, that's an IQ situation. That's a lack of intelligence. Meanwhile, guys that have less hair, even despite their age, they could be 20, they could be 40, either way, they tend to have a better understanding of how the world works. As it always goes, as one of my viewers said, it's Nick's 10 commandments. But these are the 10 things that people actually judge you on. But when you're younger or you have too much hair, you cannot perceive reality. So your hair gets in the way of you being intelligent enough to recognize, why is there always someone shorter and balder and younger than you that is still able to have a very attractive girlfriend? Why is that? Why is that? You would think if the world really worked in a way that if you go bald, you're unattractive. If that were reality, why is it that I myself can think of so many men who went bald young in their 20s and they never had issues having a date, and specifically a very attractive date, eventually wife, etc. So but when your IQ is lower, you think, if I go bald, no one will find me attractive, which that's blue pill thinking is what that is. It's not red pill. Red pill is the guy who's 5'7", has no hair on top by age 20, and still manages to have no issues attracting females, and specifically attractive ones. because he knows, because he's more intelligent, he knows it comes down to those 10 things I always talk about. So yeah, I'm really convinced that for the most part, bald men are more intelligent because it's this simple. And let's close on this note, okay? And again, it's in the video there. You can watch that video. But listen, it's this simple. And you can just leave a comment. Don't ask me a question, just leave a comment answering for yourself, okay? Number one, what is your age now? How many years until you turn 35? That's how many years you have to wonder if you go bald or not. Number two, look at a photo of yourself at age 1. That's a projection of you at age 35. That will give you a good idea too. Number three, how's your hair now? How, not necessarily receding temples, but your overall hairline situation. How is that? Compare that to age 35 on that projection I gave you. Next, could you grow a full beard by age 18? If so, you're more likely to go bald. And lastly, are you predominantly or at least partially Asian descent or at least Native American? If so, you're less likely to go bald. So you answer all 5 of those questions, all 5, not 1, and only those 5 questions. Don't tell me about your dad's hair or hair in the shower. I don't care about that. Just the 5 things. Then leave a comment and tell me right here, Nick, I'm going to go bald by 35 because here are the 5 answers. You shouldn't ask me a question. You should just tell me. And see, this is why I'm telling you, bald men are more intelligent in general because they've already lost that. They have no fear of hair loss. They've already faced their fear. So in that way, yeah, bald men, I totally believe, are more intelligent because they've already faced their fear. It's already the reality. Meanwhile, guys with hair fear it'll happen, and instead of making it simple on them, maybe that's part of it. You don't want to ask yourself the 5 questions because you're afraid that the answer will be that you are going to go bald. And instead of being mature and intelligent enough to accept that, you choose to ignore these 10 commandments, these 10 things that actually make you attractive. I mean, I think I'm onto something here. And I've said to you, there's a video right here that will break down those 5 questions and then go over those 10 things that make you attractive. And I never get comments on that video, which, what does that tell me? People don't watch that video. They don't. They don't want to be responsible for themselves. They want to be a victim instead of someone who's victorious. Because someone who is victorious is able to accept reality and find a way to make that version of reality work. To me, that is what red pill thinking is all about. It's not, I'm a victim and I can't do anything about it and I'm limited by this. It's, hey, this is my lot in life. I'm going to find a way to make this work. In conclusion, bald men in general are more intelligent. Your comments right here.